Hi everybody, Chodesh Tov Morach, Chodesh Shvat. We started tonight here in Eretz Israel. In America, they're going to be starting it tonight. And Baruch Hashem, we know that this month, Shvat, is Rosh Tevot, Sheyeh B'Sorot Tovot, translated that it should be a month of good tidings for all the Jewish people in general and the whole world also included in that. And Baruch Hashem, we're in the fourth week, coming up to finishing up the third week of Shovavi, and going on to the fourth week next week. And we're going to see a few points in the Parashah, how everything is related. But before that, going back to Rosh Chodesh Shvat, the beginning of the month of Shvat, we see that in the Parashah, when Moshe Rabbeinu wants to, in the Sefer Devarim, in the book of Devarim, the fifth book of the 5 books of Moses, when he wants to start over there, it says, Ele HaDevarim, that he spoke, and it says over there, in the first day of the 11th month, which is, our sages tell us, is this month, Shvat. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu wait? First of all, it says over there, the numerical value of Ele is 36, plus the word itself is 37. 37 days before Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, he started giving Hochacha, and giving Musar to the Jewish people, how they should keep the Torah and not go in the ways of the non-Jews, in the ways of the Goyim. Why did he wait till then? He learned this lesson from Yaakov Avinu, who waited till the end of his life to give Musar, to give, tell his children to go in the right way, because a person, before he's passing away, the things that he says is actually more listened to. So that's why he waited until then. But why Dafka? Why in this month of Shvat? Why not Adar? Why not months before this, Tevet? So if you look at the constellation, although the Jews are above any constellation or what have you, but still when we look at the constellation, we see that there's some kind of a connection here. The constellation of this month of Shvat is Dli. And Dli is a bucket of water. A bucket that you pour into water and it holds the water inside, meaning that it's a kli of mekabel. It's a bucket that could receive. And since this is the month of receiving, Moshe Rabbeinu knew that this is a month that when he gives his musar and tochacha, and he rebukes the Jewish people to go in the right way, it's going to be the most accepted. We learn from this that we have to look at the right times. There's more times that are opportune to rebuke a person. Of course, you have to do it with respect, with love, what have you. But there's more times that are more acceptable than others. For example, if you want to rebuke one of your children on Erev Shabbat, is a time of very pressure. Shabbat is coming in, the wife is cleaning, what have you. It's not a good time. You have to wait for more calm down time in order to rebuke, and the words of rebuke will go into the heart more. Now, that's one of the things that we learn over there. And also Haim brings that in this month, that the month of Shvat is a month that we have to, like every part of the area, we have to be careful not to use our legs to go into directions that are not good, that are against the Torah, to parties, to things that are not in the spirit of the Torah. But especially this month, a person has to be careful more not to go in the way of the Goyim and stick to the ways of the Torah and straighten out his path. And also, it's a month that a person should be more opening his heart in order to support Talmidei Chachamim that are learning the Torah, because it's in their merit that they're alive. Yes, it's in the merit of the people who are learning Torah that people are breathing. This is not my statement. This is our holy sage's statement, that they get it straight from the source, from Hashem himself, when he tells Yeshua, if you're not learning Torah day and night, then the world will be destroyed. And also tells the prophet Jeremiah, Im lo briti yomam v'layla, chukot shamayim v'aretz lo samti. If it was not for the covenant, meaning learning Torah, of the Jewish people with the covenant that I have with him, there will be no world, no existence, no oxygen, no water. And who are the people that are learning Torah? The people who are sitting in the Beit Midrash, and yes, thanks to them, we are breathing and we are living. So next time you see a Talmid Chacham Next time you see a big rabbi that comes to town, stand up for him. Go kiss his hand. Get a bracha from them. And ask him what he needs. Do you need accommodation, what have you? I'm here for you. Thanks to you, I'm living. How could I be not grateful to you for your Torah that you learn? But unfortunately, there's also other people that are not because they're bad, but because of the fact that they don't know any better. Not only they don't respect the rabbis, I'm talking about the true rabbis, not lefty liberal rabbis that are taking the truth out of the Torah. The real Orthodox rabbis that are attending to the Torah and the straight path. But unfortunately, there are people today that also do not respect them, and they call them parasites and all these names, and all these things are going to come and haunt them. Instead of respecting them and showing the kids what it means to learn Torah, so that their kids would respect them, and so come to respect the parents, they put him down, and it's no wonder that tomorrow the child not only is not going to respect the rabbis, but he's going to come and spit back in the face of the parents, because he would say, if you don't respect the authority of Torah and people who represent it, why should I respect you? The next time you see a rabbi, Orthodox rabbi, think about all these points to give respect, because it's all going to boomerang back at you. Okay, looking forward more inside the Parashah. We see how in the beginning of the Parashah, Hashem tells Moshe to come to Paro and to talk to him and to go tell the children, the Jewish children, tell the fathers to talk to the children and tell him, Ech hit'alalti b'Mitzrayim, how I played around with the Egyptians. Rashi brings down, what is hit'alel? Playing around, sachakti itam. What do you mean? Hashem plays around with people? Yes. Hashem plays around with people who make a mockery and a joke out of his Torah. He gives them a chance. He shows them the Torah. He sends rabbis to them to give a shiur. He hears the CD, a USB, a shiur, but he doesn't wake up. So he sends fires to LA. He sends floods and hurricanes to other places to wake the Jewish people up. Nah, it's all natural events. It happens once in a while. Like Dora Mabul, the generation of the flood, said every 1,656 years, the skies open and a flood happens. So we're going to build a tower in order to block that hole. Much deeper stuff than that, but let's take it on a short level. They bend over backwards to make things look natural. Even next week's Parashah, we're going to see that the Jewish people come out, Parashat Bashalach, the Egyptians, they were so into their ways of thinking that everything just happens and nothing happens from the protection and from the decisions of Hashem. They said when the sea split, just like over there it split, so maybe the Jewish people went over now to the other side. There was some kind of a thing, they closed the water channel, so it split, is going to come back, what have you. They try to make everything look natural. And they try to play with Hashem's Torah. Hashem came and says, I gave you so many chances. The 8th plague already, in this week's Parashah. Paro, how many times I have to hit you over the head and your Egyptian slaves over there? Your own bodies are slaves to your evil inclinations. How come you don't wake up already? You want to play? So I'll play with you. Hit'alalti b'Mitzrayim. Hashem doesn't play around. He gives you chances. But you want to play games? He'll play your game. But in the end, you'll lose. Hashem is always the winner. So why fight him? He wants the best for us. If you can't beat him, join him. And it's the best thing for us. What does Hashem want from us? To live by the Torah, to live a moral lifestyle, to keep Shabbat, to not say Lashon Hara, to respect. These are things that build culture, that build nations, that keep up the world, as opposed to all these non-Jewish ways that are trying to infiltrate into the Jewish mind to go against the Torah and destroy marriages, destroy kids, and destroy the lives. Not only in this world, in the world to come. Hashem Yishmereinu. Story is told of the Chafetz Chaim, the giant who lived and passed away in 1933, not so long ago. In this time, he heard that in town there's a rich man who owns a lot of houses, and there is a widow and infants who they didn't have money to give for a few months. And the landlord said that if you don't give by the end of the month, we're going to kick you out of the house. So she starts crying and saying, please, we don't have, give us another extension, what have you. And the landlord was so evil and so stingy that he didn't want to hear it. And on a rainy day in the middle of winter, threw the widow and the infants in the street, and they cried and they cried. Afterwards, when the Chafetz Chaim heard about this, he said it can't be that this story will go unanswered. Hashem obviously will give him other chances to this landlord to do teshuvah. For 20 years, the Chafetz Chaim, for 20 years, he's been looking around for this guy. Checked if he's doing teshuvah. They were telling him to do teshuvah, to come back, to better your ways, stop being so stingy. He didn't. After 20 years of being patient with him, they found his body dead. His corpse on a rainy day, bitten by a dog which had rabies. And he went crazy in the streets until they found his body on a rainy day. You want to play? You don't want to do teshuvah? You want to be bad to me and to my beings that I created? It's all going to boomerang back on you. Don't play games with God. Come and learn the Torah and go in the ways of the Torah. And it'll just be good for you in this world and, of course, in the world to come. Another point, and we want to finish with this. In this Parashah, and this relates to the Shovavim, the period of Shovavim that we talked about, the 6 weeks that God has generously given to us, that is equal to the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, as we said before, to do teshuvah, especially in the area of morality, for the men watching their eyes, and for the women to be tznuah, to dress properly, because the men are princes and the women are princesses of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we are ambassadors of God in this world. And if you walk around like commoners and not dress and not act like royalty, then Hashem is going to be upset. So He's given us this 6 weeks in order to get ourselves together. And Baruch Hashem, in 6 weeks of winter, is not such a big test to walk tznu on the street. Anyway, it's cold. The woman is going to put on extra clothing, and the men also, it's easier for them to watch their eyes because it's not the summertime and people are not walking around not like human beings. But what does it have to do with this Parashah? Kiddushan Tahara. You mentioned of Haim earlier. He also talks about this month being the month of Yosef HaSadik. Every tribe has its month. This month happens to be the Zechut and the merit of Yosef HaSadik is hovering over the Jewish people in this month. Why? Because we were smacked in the middle of Shovavim. Hashem is reminding us that He wants us to be Am Kadosh, to be holy people. If you want to be liberated, in order to have the Refuah Shelema, the best way to do that, the best way to get that is to be holy, to watch our eyes, and to be modest, to dress modestly. It says over here at the end of the Parashah, the Korban Pesach, before the 10th plague of the firstborn of the Egyptians being killed by Hashem, Hashem said, for the firstborns of the Jewish people not to be killed, do the Korban Pesach, bring the Pesach offering, and to put the blood on the doorposts, and Hashem will jump over those houses. Now, there are a lot of people who didn't want to do the Korban Pesach. Why? Because this is the God of the Egyptians. And they have to go and take the God of the Egyptian 4 days before, tie him to the bed. And the Egyptians are coming and asking him, what are you doing with our God? I said, we're going to go and shecht your God. We're going to slaughter them. Although most Jewish people, they agreed to do it, but there are a lot of people who were afraid of the Egyptians. So what did Hashem do? He said that the Korban Pesach, when everybody's bringing the sacrifice of Pesach, he opened Garden of Eden and took out the smell from Garden of Eden, which is irresistible, and he put it into the Korban of Pesach, sacrifice of Pesach, and all the Jewish people came and said, we also want a part of that. So Moshe says, nobody could eat from it that doesn't have a circumcision. You want to eat from it? You have to circumcise. What do you mean circumcise? We're even going to be weaker now. As bad as it is, the Egyptians want to kill us because we're slaughtering their gods. And now you want us on top of that to do Brit Milah? Yes. Hashem says, I want Mesirat Nefesh. I want self-sacrifice. I want to take you out, but you need marriage for that. And for that, you have to bend over backwards and show me that you're for real. Show me like you're the sons of Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov. Show me that you're ready to bring your son up to the sacrifice like Abraham Avinu. Show me like you're like Yitzchak Avinu that stretched out his neck to be sacrificed. Show me like Yaakov Avinu that he ran away from his brother and he never complained and he was in Laban's house for so many years and he still stayed a true Jew. I want self-sacrifice. Sure enough, they slaughtered the animals, the gods of Egypt, and they started, and they also did Brit Milah, and the blood of the Brit Milah became intertwined with the blood of sacrifice of Pesach. Came Hashem and said, the famous pasuk that we say in Brit Milah, V'omar lach b'damai chai, V'omar lach b'damai chai. You know why I'm going to take you out of Egypt? Because of these two bloods! That you self-sacrifice. You show me that you want to be there. Whatever I say, you'll do. Even if it means the pain of death. But in the end, I never backstep anyone, Hashem said. He took him out of Egypt. The Egyptian didn't raise an arm at any single Jew. And the Brit Milah, even though he weakened them, it didn't affect them. Because no one could attack them. Because when Hashem is protecting us, nobody could come and attack us. So what do we have to do today? What is a self-sacrifice? What do we have to shecht? Slaughter the Yetzirah that we have in our days. We talked about the men to be Shemirat Anayim, watch their eyes. The women have to sacrifice and not go with the way of the Goyim, to dress modestly. And also when it comes to all these things on the phones that I don't have any blocks, what have you. These are the others that has to be sacrificed and slaughtered. When Hashem sees that, He knows how hard it is in this generation. This is the final one, the final test. The Satan knows. He brought everything in the palm of your hands. At least have a block on it. Most of the things that you have on it, you don't need anyway. Oh, for work you need it? There's so many people who are doing it without this. But let's say you can't do it. Why do you need all the other garbage on it? Why are the kids playing around it from the age of 0? Why do they have to mention and see the garbage on these devices that are antithesis of holiness? This is the time to self-sacrifice. We all see what's going on in the world. The world is burning. Any second there could be a war, World War III. The taxes and the tariffs that Trump is going to put on China, and China is going to come back and retaliate. A person has to be a fool not to see where the world is going. Hashem is giving us the final chances. Wake up, my sons. I love you. I want you to come back. Learn from your forefathers in Egypt that although it was life-threatening, but they still sacrificed. They slaughtered our idols, so too we have to slaughter our idols. And B'ezrat Hashem, in that zuchur and that merit, Hashem will also bring us the redemption. But this redemption is going to be final. This redemption is going to be the prophecy of the pasuk coming true, that one who laughs is the one who laughs last. Although we're crying today in tears, but we're going to be laughing in the morning when the final redemption comes. Chodesh Tov U'Barach and Shabbat Shalom.